Oh my word, look what's waiting for me when I come home from work. A little bit of a ding on the box, but that's not Rails of Sheffield's problem. I love that they're reusing boxes. Either that or I've just ordered way too much stuff. Let's have a look, see what we got. All right. Ooh. With compliments. Lovely. Oh, a whole box full of bubble wrap. Just what I needed. Right, that's it. Brick paper. No, I'm kidding. Let's have a look-see. Oh, all right then. Look what we've got. Ding in the box, but we will have a look and see. This looks rather special. Yes, I've been spending my pocket money. But seriously, this is what I was waiting for. And we'll see how that turns out. Now then, we're going to talk very quickly about why I order so much stuff in one go. It's because of shipping. There used to be a cheap way to ship things, but now it costs a lot of money. We do get the VAT back, which is kind of nice, but that's more than made up for by the very expensive shipping. We'll have a look, shall we? Well now, I feel like a kid with a new toy. This thing looks lovely. Let's get it out of the box. I'm not going to bore you with me opening the box, but let's get it out. The box did come with a ding in it, but that's my biggest problem. I live in America and things get shipped all the way from England, and if that's the worst that happens, I'll be delighted. Rails of Sheffield do a staggeringly good job of packing. I shall be popping bubble wrap for a month, I think. Yeah, as ever with this kind of train, they come individually packaged as well. So yeah, I need the instructions because somewhere here is a chip, and that chip has got to go inside. This is the first time I've ever had to chip rolling stock. Well, I'm busily looking through all of the packaging. There's something extra in that one. I'm looking for the instructions. Aha! This is what I need. We need this because I need to know how to get into the thing to put the chip in. Well, now, I have no idea what that's. I wonder. I'm trying to guess. I'll read the instructions, I promise. But I wonder if those are like stir sticks to get the carriage open. It looks like I got a couple of alternate ends there. A 92 and not a 92. Yeah, we'll have a look. Oh, well, that's delightful. Tables, coloured seats. Wow. All rather spesh. Let's have a look on the end. Oh, yeah. This is rather a nice looking train. Let me get that thing chipped so you can watch it run. No, I would never have guessed. The plastic stir sticks, it's actually a good idea, are to enable you to avoid breaking the couplings. So use them. It's a coupling tool. Use them to couple and uncouple. Not that they're going to come apart once I get them sorted out. Okay, so this is important. It's always important with these kinds of trains to get the carriages in the right order. So I'm going to have to read all the way through this. Yes, alternate ends. Where does the chip go? Oh, well, now there's a surprise. It doesn't go in the front car. Huh. Goes in the middle. So now we've got to find... Well, the instructions are in one box and I better read this. I'll be back in a minute. Ooh, that does look good. The guards compartment and with the luggage place there, sort of kind of in the middle of the train. I find it fun that they've preserved or kept something with that. I would have thought they would have traded this. I know there were sets. They ran in sets, but I would have thought they would trade this carriage out for one that didn't have the extra space. Huh. Yes. Oh, I'm excited. There's lots of history and reading to do, but that's where the chip goes. So this is the one we need to get into. Well, things I'm noticing already, the 4 connector coupling, these are going to be delicate. So I'm guessing that's why we've got the stir stick coupling tools, they call it. Yes. Kind of delicate detail on the roof there. I like it. We'll have a good look at it running later. Now, if you were running this DC, apparently that's where the light switches are. You can just see them through the holes there. And I'm taking a hint there that to the left it says end B, so I'm making an assumption that NB goes that way somewhere, but we will have a look at that. I'm hoping I get it right first time. I usually don't. I found a new use for my solder station clips. I don't know if you can read that. It doesn't really matter because you haven't got one yet. You're looking at this in case you do. I know about you people. Now this is where we would usually start using stir sticks or hotel keys. Let me see what I can do. I'm going to try and use my nail first. I'm trying to put a bit of light on it so you can really see how tightly. This is a tight fit. Yeah, very tight fit. If I'm in the way, I'm sorry. I'm more concerned about not breaking things. There we go. We're in. There are 4 clips, it says. So I think I'm right on one of them. I don't know if you can see that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm hearing them move. Yeah, we're in. It's actually not bad. I hate the creaking and groaning they make. All right, a couple more random hotel keys. There's got to be a lot of people who would pay good money for a tool that just made this thing pop. Now this is interesting. There's a little detail. I'm going to try and show you. There's a detail here that I'm nervous about. If we just slid the card along, we would break that. There is one this end too. I'm right up against it, but the we're already well beyond that end. I'm trying to keep you in the picture at the same time without breaking things. Can you imagine breaking things like this? All right, I think I've got that side. Now we're going to turn it over. I'm going to run out of cards again. Must get some more. Not an advertisement for the particular hotels. I don't get to choose usually. I know which ones I like. But working for an airline, I spent half my life in hotels. Okay, in you go. That's it. Yeah, you're in. That's 2 of the clips, 3 of the clips. This one just says hello. Hello. Right, down this end again. Got it. Here we go. Now there's 2 clips all the way down at this end I haven't got yet. You remember I talked about that detail. Yeah, that detail piece is right where one of the clips is. Of course it is. That'll be the same on the other side, doubtless. Now this particular set, I'm not intending to put passengers in. Because there we go, we're off. Because it spends 90% of its time sitting in a yard, I expect. Right, where does the chip go? Aha, whoops. There is a cable, let me show you, at the other end there. I like, some people will say, oh, you should put springy clips. I actually like the cable. I've had some issues with the springy clips. There is a plug on it, should you wish to unplug it. You can see the cabin lighting there. Cabin lighting, carriage lighting. Yes, I'm happy. That's where the chip goes. Here is the chip. Let's make the 2 work together. Hold on. Now, I really didn't mean to tear it because it's got all of the instructions on the back, but I tried to pull the thing through there and managed to tear it. Oh well, sellotape will be my saviour, I expect. And there is the chip. Let's see. How can I show you this going in? Now to get at it, I've had to lay this. I'm not unplugging the plug. There's slack in that cable, but you do have to be careful of that. And the blanking plate will be here. Let me try and show you this. At this end then, do you see that there's holes or pinholes that line up all the way along, except at that end there's one that isn't there. So that's very much better than the ones that just have a hole there. Means you can't get it in the wrong way round. But that's the chip. Do you see what I mean by that? Look, here's my pointy stick. Do you see all of the pins are used except that on the blanking plate has a hole there. This video will be very useful for me in years to come, I'm quite sure. So now we've got to get that blanking plate out. Very delicate right there, so I'm going to be a bit careful. I need a screwdriver or a piece of plastic. Hotel key, you see that? And what I'm doing is, you can't see and I can't get to the camera, but up here I'm twisting the card towards you, distorting the card a bit. It doesn't matter, it's a hotel key. And there comes the, do you see that? So I can get right, whoops, there it goes. That was it. And that's what I was doing to the card, chewing it up. But these hotel keys or old credit cards, very, very useful. Now, you can't get it the wrong way up, he says. I'm just checking. Line it up nicely, no going catawampus. And the reason for the card now is the card is reaching all the way down here, which I can't, of course. I mean, they're easier than they used to be, and a little bit of, that's it. A little bit of pressure on the top. Again, on the opposite side of the train, let me stop a second, show you what I mean. If you're busy pushing there, where my finger is, I want to turn you over. Look at all that. You see, you'd be pushing right against this detail underneath. So you really do have to be careful, even putting chips in. But they've got to be in firmly enough. Otherwise, you have all kinds of problems with them. That, I believe, is that. Now, the way you can tell is by looking through the holes in the pins. You see that? Can you see as you look through the holes, you can see the pins coming up the other way. So if I were to give you the similar look at this one now, you can see all the way through. You see that? That's what I'm talking about. And so when you snug the chip down over the pins, the holes fill up with pin. Right, let's get this thing back together. You don't need to hear me talking about pins and holes. Honestly, the instructions, I did read them. Pretty useless. If you've done one of these things, you know you're going to be... Look at this delicate... I'm going to put this under there because you'll see it. Look at that delicate detail. You see it? See the ladder there? Very, very easy to break. I'm on foam, but if I were to push down now, something would break, I'm quite sure. So I'm looking for somewhere underneath that's firm enough to take a bit of pressure. I don't think... There we go. Well, it went on quite easy. It isn't quite there yet. Something's not quite right. Oh, there we go. That one's in. It's all there. Look at the... I'll use that white card because you'll be able to see against it. See the fine detail of the step there? How easily do you think I could break that off? Quite easily. So clearly it's another one of those models that is not a toy. Of course it's a toy, Ian. It's a toy for people that have learned how to break things and not worry about it. Now, what is worrying me is on the desk now is a piece of plastic. It didn't come out of that packet because I haven't opened it. So where has that come from? I'm going to have a quick look just to see. What I suspect is one of these. But no, it might not have come from this, says he, wishful thinking. That's interesting too. Let me just show you those. The pickups, I'm not a fan. Oh no, I am a fan. It looked very like, okay, it looked like this was the pickup. It isn't. The pickup is actually on the end of the axle there. That's interesting. I thought that was the pickup. It isn't. That's braking detail. Well, I wonder if I have to put the switches in a particular position. I didn't see anything about that. I will have another look. Let me have another quick read. Well, I'll read it to you because I don't want to move. I want to show you something. It says here, if you have fitted a 21-pin DCC decoder and are operating your model railway with a DCC controller, these functions, whatever the functions are, will be available via the handset without having to use the switches on the underside of the car. Please note, if these switches are in the off position when using DCC control, these functions will be unavailable. So it means that we have to have those switches in the on position. It doesn't specifically say that, but that is what it means. unclear. Well, it shows that the on position is away from the edge of the carriage and towards the center in all three cases. Interior, end A and end B. So we've got to make sure all three of those switches are towards the center. Right. All three are in the on position. You see the word off there. These, I'm not going to move them, but there's the switch. Do you see it? So that would be off. So this is on. That's on. And that's on. So all three are on. Lovely. I'm not seeing any place that that tiny piece of plastic could have come from. Dare I say I got away with it? I don't know. Looking along very carefully. I'm keeping it, but I'm never going to be gluing it back on. You know perfectly well that's the case. But I don't think it broke off. Right. I don't mind having 92 on it, but I do mind. This is the one that you would change. See the red there? If this is being propelled, it would be, this is going to be up behind the locomotive because the other end has the light. But, do those lights change color if it were running forward? I'm guessing they do. So we want the 92 in there, even though you wouldn't see it. I don't mind red 92s, but I do. I don't know. Am I being too picky? I think I might be, you know. We'll have a look to see how to change it anyway. I can always do it in that. Well, I don't want to be hooking them up and unhooking them. Let's have a quick look. I'm not fitting those because they're for static display. It says, let me see if I can show you that. It says, fit those for static display. And we're not doing static. So, I'm going to read this section here. I'll have a little longer look at it. You might see it before I do. Spare door. Well, there you go. Front door is off, or back door is off. It's 4 clips, and I used fingernails. This door can come out, and I will replace it with the one with the 92 in it. Well, there we go. It should be a very straightforward job. Just pop this in there. Yeah. And reattach. Done. Very simple. You just have to get your nail in behind there. No room for anything else, and I definitely wouldn't use a screwdriver. You're going to scratch something. Right, I'm happier with 92 being on the end of there because, oh, I should have had a look. I'm not taking it off again, but I should have had a look and see how they were doing their lighting. Now, the other spare I have is 2 blanks, which would be very common on these things from memory. But the other one says 62. I actually don't know what 62 is. I shall have to have a little read on the interweb, won't I? Let's get the train put together. Right, now we've got to get them in the right order. That one there is the brake compartment to the left. Okay, well, we can do that. That would be that one. And the moment you do that, the other carriage, the other non-leading carriage, has to go next to it. Now you would think, oh, but which way round? Well, it can only go one way because of the connections. Do you see that? So if I have this one the wrong way round, there'd be 2 lots of sticky uppy pins. So that can't go that way round. So this one has to go the other way round. Let's see if I can do it without dropping it. Things I do for you people. There we go. So that one goes there. there's another sticky uppy there and a downy there, so that must go that end. And if that's the case, there should be an up on the last carriage, and there is. So I think we've got it. So now that's the order, and all I've got to do now is connect them, and this is where the fun and games start, I believe. Now I must say that particular car is not that free running. That's the one with all the pickups, do you remember? Compared to that one. Now this one. Bit of a squeak on it too. Yes, so that's a thing. We'll have a look at it, see what we think. It just didn't sound and feel right. Do you see that? That axle at the top there is not in right. So I'm going to have to just reseat that. I can't do that with one hand, so I'm sorry you're not going to see this, but all I'm doing is reseating that axle there. One of these days I'm going to have to figure out a way of showing you that stuff. That's much better. So that axle wasn't in the right place. Let's put it on the track and see if that made a difference. Right, watch. It's rolling on its own. It's still heavier than the others, but now it works and doesn't squeak. The squeak was what gave it away. If it had just been heavy, I would have said, axle pickups. But, so yeah. So the axle, one of the axles was not seated properly. Teething troubles. I'm still giving it a straight 9.5 out of 10. I don't think Sam's Trains is going to review this one, is he? Hey Sam, if you are, watch out for those axles. It's very awkward holding this camera and trying to use both hands. Very gently upside down on the rails. I'm not going to move it, but this kinematic coupling, I wanted to show you that. You see that now? It would only be doing that if the bogie turned. But I can see that, yeah. See through the hole there? You can see the wires moving. I mean, they've got to, but yeah. Just so you know how it works. I feel a bit like an inspector. Right, let's get this thing hooked together. And we'll have to find something to pull it, won't we? Can't imagine what we're going to use. So now these are the pieces of plastic they give us to push the couplings together. Obviously I can't show you that easily, but you shove one in there and one in the other side and push them together. Well, they do couple tightly. My goodness. Impressive. Yes. The sticks, what do I think? Useful. Yeah, could do with being a bit longer. There's always something to complain about, isn't there? Look at my great big fat fingers, and you're holding it by the end, and yeah, I don't know. Hard to get at. If you put a bit of sponge down on the other side and flip it over, much easier. But of course you do stand the chance of damaging things. Right. Needs to go to the programming track, and I've got to think of a number for it. Alrighty, I've dragged it out of the programming track. It took a minute. Let's function for it, apparently. I don't have a list of the functions. There should be 3, I think. But there's the carriage lighting, and it does look lovely. All 4 carriages working. And now 0 appears to be the, yeah, well, something just came on, didn't it? Let's change that. Yeah. And by changing direction, that should go red. Yeah. Which is why I didn't want a red insert there, if you see what I mean. The one on the other end either isn't working, or I haven't found the code for it, or the switch is in the wrong position. But we did check the switches, didn't we? So not going to worry about that right now, minor detail. But yeah, so the first thing is get these back off the main. It feels right, doesn't it? Well, there's only one locomotive that can pull this train, isn't there? Let's be sensible. Alrighty. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.